Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to make sense of the financial mumbo jumbo. You know, that feeling when you open a company report and just stare at a wall of text. Well, that's what we're here to fix and get this. The company we're looking at today is announcing a meeting and making some changes, so let's dive in before we get started. If you like cracking open these SEC filings and finding the real story behind the numbers, make sure you are subscribed. We also have a Discord community link down below where we break down these reports together in real time. Alright, so what we have here is an 8K filing from Greenwave Technology Solutions Inc., a company that's involved in technology, and frankly we're looking at a report that tells us when they're going to have their big annual meeting with their shareholders and sets the stage for future decisions. This filing is basically an announcement from Greenwave about their upcoming 2025 annual meeting of stockholders. Think of it as the company's big get-together where important decisions are made. And shareholders get to have their say. The date for this meeting has been set for August 13th, which is a pretty important date for them. To figure out who actually gets to vote at this meeting, they've also set a record date for July 17th. This means if you own shares on this specific day, you're invited to the party and get to cast your vote. Now, why is this meeting so important and why are they even filing this report? Well, sometimes when a company changes the date of its annual meeting by quite a bit, it needs to let the public know. And that's exactly what this filing is doing. They're telling everyone that the meeting date is significantly different from the previous year's equivalent meeting date. This is where it gets interesting for us as investors or interested observers. The company is also giving us a heads up about deadlines for submitting proposals for the meeting. If you're a shareholder and you want your proposal to be considered for inclusion in the company's official meeting materials, meaning it gets printed and sent out to everyone who gets the proxy statement, you need to get it to them by July 19th. It's a pretty tight turnaround, so if you have ideas, you better get them in fast. This deadline ensures that their proposal is considered reasonable time before they print and send out the meeting materials. This July 19th deadline isn't just for getting your proposal into the official meeting booklet. It also matters for another reason. If a shareholder wants to bring up a business item at the meeting itself, not just in the printed note, both deadlines. And for anyone looking to send in these important proposals or any other communication to the company, make sure it's addressed to the Chief Executive Officer at their principal executive offices in Chesapeake, Virginia. Now, to wrap up the official part of this report, the signature here tells us who's officially signing off on this document for Greenwave Technology Solutions. And it's Danny Meeks, the Chief Executive Officer, dated July 14th. This confirms the report is officially filed. Okay, so what does all this mean for Greenwave? This filing isn't about groundbreaking financial news or a new product launch. It's more about the internal workings and shareholder engagement. It signals that the company is actively preparing for its annual meeting, which is a really key event for corporate governance and shareholder dialogue. The fact that they're changing the meeting date and setting these specific deadlines for proposals shows they're trying to manage the process and give shareholders a chance to participate, but also to control the flow of information and proposals leading up to the meeting. The deadlines themselves, July 19th for inclusion in proxy materials and July 24th for business to be brought before. The meeting are quite tight. This suggests that the company might be aiming for a streamlined process, or perhaps they want to limit the number of surprises at the meeting. It's standard practice, but the closeness of these dates is something to note. From a broader perspective, the company's business itself is what matters most, and this filing doesn't give us a direct look at their financial health or operational performance, but it does tell us that shareholder engagement is on the horizon and that they are following proper procedures for announcing these important dates and deadlines. Now looking at Greenwave Technology Solutions as a whole and thinking about what this filing tells us beyond the immediate announcement, it's clear they are a publicly traded company, and like all public companies, they must adhere to strict reporting and communication rules. This 8K filing is just one example of that obligation. The date set for the annual meeting, August 13th, is a significant date for shareholders as it's their primary opportunity to directly influence, or at least voice opinions on the company's direction. The record date of July 17th ensures that only those invested at a specific point in time can participate in this crucial democratic process within the company. The deadlines for submitting shareholder proposals typically are set to allow the company enough time to review them and include them in the official proxy materials, which are then sent to all shareholders. This process is governed by rules from the Securities and Exchange Commission, like the ones mentioned here, Rule 14A8 for inclusion in proxy materials and Rule 14A4's Exio Wall, 14A4C for discretionary voting authority. The company's own bylaws also play a role in setting internal deadlines for bringing business before the meeting. It's important for investors to understand these timelines because if you have a proposal or a concern, you want to make sure you meet these deadlines to have your voice heard effectively. The company needs to be able to integrate shareholder proposals into their own materials without causing undue delays or disruptions to their planned meeting. They've clearly laid out where submissions need to go and who they should be addressed to the CEO. So while this filing might seem like a procedural announcement, it's actually a signal of upcoming events that could impact the company's future direction. Keep an eye on what happens at the annual meeting and what proposals are put forth, as they could provide valuable insights into shareholder sentiment and potential strategic shifts for Greenwave Technology Solutions. Alright, that's our breakdown of this Greenwave Technology Solutions filing. What's your take on these dates and deadlines for shareholder engagement? Do you think these tighter timelines are a good thing or bad thing for transparency? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, remember hitting that like button really supports the channel, and make sure you subscribe for more of these deep dives into corporate filings. And don't forget to join our Discord community linked in the description. It's a great place to chat with other like-minded individuals about these reports and get your questions answered. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.